Hello everybody, Pauline's Place. Very glad to be with you. It's been quite a week and it's not even over, it's just Thursday. Behind me is the picture I talked to you about yesterday, Random Acts of Kindness. Well, I've been part of 3 funerals this week. It's been hard and I cry inside a lot. And one was quite a youngish man, much younger than me. Lovely dad of 3 wonderful children. The other, beautiful woman, Wendy, just would spend her life writing letters and cards of encouragement to people because she couldn't really do a lot of physical activity. She was often stuck in a bed and finally in a hospital bed or a rest home bed when she was really too young to be there. And then this last person, once again, good woman, often burdened by the struggle of life, but also finding ways to enjoy it. And once again, 2 great adult kids. Now, what about dying? Do you think about it ever? I do sometimes. We can say we don't want to think about it, but that's one very certain thing. We're all going to die. And lately, in my work with people of the church and community centre, I've been reading the book of John. And in John, there's some verses that are often read at funerals, and I've read them before to you on Pauline's Place, and I'll read this one. It says, "In my Father's house there are many rooms," or in some translations it says mansions. And Jesus is talking to troubled disciples. He says, "I go to prepare a place for you. And if it weren't so, I wouldn't tell you that. But when I go to prepare a place for you, I'll come back and I'll take you to myself. Because where you are, I'll be. Where I am, you'll be." Now, he was talking to a future that was going to be full of great danger and terrible tragedy, not just for the disciples, but for the current world of that age. And he says it to you and to me in the uncertain future we're facing. And there's been tragedy all around during COVID, and there still is. I'm in New Zealand. I'm an Australian. We're very lucky countries when it comes to this. But all across the world, our brothers and sisters in the love of God are really suffering. And people think about dying. And it's not a bad thing to think about. The calendar helped me talk about this with you because it says, we are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. Actually, every day we kind of get a bit closer to dying, but every day we live being responsible for our future. All of these people that I've buried, and people have cried, and people have also smiled at all the good memories. All of these people were aware that somehow how they lived every day was preparing for the future, making the future different for whoever is coming after them, for their children, their grandchildren, their good friends. So, when you think about dying, or your death, your mortality, the best thing to do is think about, what can I do today? What can I do? I felt I was in a sacred setting with these 3 funerals. I felt that I was on holy ground at the burial site and there in the church when it was a memorial service and there wasn't a coffin. And there at the hearse when you're saying goodbye, there's much more there than just a body. There's a lot more happening, and it's about our future. So we remember the past and we remember the person, but you'll honour them if you let them cheer you on for the future. Thank you for letting me talk about this subject today, and I ask that you pray for all the people who are going through grief. You mightn't know them, but if you've been on that journey and you're still on it, you know how much prayers count. Your very best thinking. God knows your heart. Thank you for letting me share a bit of my heart today. See you tomorrow.